Published, 12:49 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 17th of March 2018. Updated, 20:35 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 17th of March 2018. 5th place. 5-star failure. So poor that Eddie Jones was booed out of Twickenham. By the end of the night, when the local bars were out of Guinness, England's worst finish since 1983 was confirmed. For Ireland, a Grand Slam. For England, a grand calamity. Ireland secured the third Grand Slam in the history with a 25-14 victory over England at a freezing Twickenham. Fullback Rob Kearney salutes Irish supporters in the crowd after Joe Schmidt's side secured their famous win on Saturday. Ireland wing Keith Earls parades the pitch wearing an ice pack on his knee but with the Six Nations trophy in his hands. Conor Murray, Dan Levy and Ian Henderson toast their well-deserved Grand Slam following victory over England. Ireland players celebrate before the end of the match after England scored their third try late on at Twickenham on Saturday. Gary Ringrose of Ireland touches down for the first try of the Six Nations match against England at Twickenham on Saturday. Ringrose of Ireland scores the first try of the game to give Ireland the lead against Eddie Jones. England on Saturday. Ireland's Johnny Sexton kicked a conversion to put them 7-0 up in the opening stages of the Six Nations clash at Twickenham. Cheers were mixed. Some English fans moaned after a third straight defeat, while their guest goaded Jones for his comments about the scummy Irish. As their old proverb goes, many a time a man's mouth broke his nose. The scoreline barely served justice to Ireland. Slow and robotic, England lacked penetration and allowed the champions to counter to a 21-5 half-time lead. It was so easy, said Ronan O'Gara, who watched his old apprentice Johnny Sexton pull the strings in the number 10 jersey. In a brainless opening half, his opposite number Owen Farrell conceded the first of 11 penalties for a late hit on Rob Kearney. Ireland kicked the ball downfield and the onslaught followed. Sexton launched a premeditated high ball on Anthony Watson, who later suffered an Achilles injury, and Gary Ringrose scored after Kearney forced a fumble. 6 minutes in and questions were already being asked. Is Watson too flaky for fullback? Is Mike Brown too old? Is Elliot Daly the solution? Time is quickly running out to find the answers. The Irish fans found their voice as England's discipline unravelled. Maro Itoje was the main culprit. England were penalised for being offside, closing the gap at the line-out and falling off their feet at the breakdown. They handed points to Ireland on a plate. Elliot Daly of England is tackled by Ireland duo Jacob Stockdale and back row forward Levy of Ireland during the clash. Ireland scrum half Murray kicks during the Six Nations game between Ireland and England. Ireland's CJ Stander runs through to score his side's second try of the game against England. Stander, left, scores a try to put Ireland into a convincing lead over England in the penultimate Six Nations match of 2018. Stander celebrates with Sexton after scoring his side's second try during the first half of the Six Nations match. Sexton struck the right post from a penalty, but Ireland registered their second try after 24 minutes. Playing advantage after Itoje took out his opponent in the line-out, Ireland ran a perfect strike move. Midfield decoy runners created a hole for Bundyaki to burst through, before the Kiwi found CJ Stander on his left to touch the ball against the base of the post. We played the identical move in Dublin 3 years ago, but Billy Vunipola hauled back Robbie Henshaw to stop the try, revealed Ireland coach Joe Schmidt. How England have missed Vunipola. No one has been able to fill the physical void left by the injured number 8. Most of England's first half attacks were undermined by handling errors and some lenient refereeing by Angus Gardner. Archie was fortunate to avoid a yellow card for a shoulder charge on Daly, but England were given a numerical advantage when Peter O'Mahony was sin-binned for collapsing a maul. Kyle Sinclair, left, on the charge to try and get England back into the contest after falling to a 14-0 lead early on. England's Elliot Daly scores his side's opening try of the game to reduce the deficit against Ireland. Daly celebrates scoring his side's opening try with Owen Farrell during the Six Nations match against Ireland on Saturday. England launched a series of line-out attacks, with Itoje claiming the ball at the front, but, in a brain fade, went for the tail in the crucial throw and lost the ball. Ireland's defence has been masterminded by Andy Farrell and was breached only once in the first half, when Farrell Jr. weaved through a kick for Daly to score. The Met Office had predicted a storm over Twickenham, and it duly arrived as a chill went down English spines. Ireland's determination was encapsulated by Sexton, who played through the pain barrier. "I don't need to come off," he said, with blood streaming down his face. The visitors bludgeoned over the gain line, Stander, Ian Henderson, Teague Furlong and Dan Levy dominating physically, while England were tossed sideways or backwards in contact. Ireland pounded away and, with the clock approaching 42 minutes at the end of the first half, they landed the crucial blow. Conor Murray had the tenacity of mind to snipe down a blind alley, feeding rookie winger Jacob Stockdale. He chipped over Brown and, stretching out his left arm, touched down to overtake Will Greenwood, Chris Ashton and Shane Williams as the first player to score 7 tries in one Six Nations. Ireland's Stockdale on his way to scoring his side's third try of the game at the end of the first half of the match. Stockdale scores a try to put Ireland 21-5 in the lead against Jones. England away from home just before half-time. Stockdale touches down his side's third try to give Ireland breathing space heading into the break on Saturday. There was a stroke of fortune, with the ball bouncing off his knee before he grounded just shy of a dead ball line that had been repainted a yard further back by the RFU. I remember Sir Alex Ferguson speaking at Harvard and he said you needed to get this and this in order, and then you needed a bit of luck, added Schmidt. For rugby historians, England's 16-point half-time deficit was their biggest in 235 home games in the competition. By the end, bookmakers were even offering odds on Jones leaving his post by the end of the year. The fields of Athenry belted out and Keith Earls pulled off a miracle tap tackle to deny Daly a certain try shortly after the break. England's Chris Robshaw, right, in action against Ireland's Kearney, left during the Six Nations clash at Twickenham. Murray of Ireland kicks a penalty to increase his side's lead over England to 19 points in the Six Nations match at Twickenham. Daly scores his side's second try of the game in the second half to put England on 10 points during the Six Nations match. Moments later, the Lions winger was penalised for a neck roll on Kearney. England's midfield went AWOL and Mako Vunipola, James Haskell and Kyle Sinclair took charge of carrying duties. Murray kept the scoreboard ticking over, before Sexton finally admitted that his body had taken enough. Jones, too, unloaded his bench and, having axed 7 players, they arrived with a point to prove. Chasing their tails, George Ford executed a loop play, with Brown deftly offloading to set up Daly for his second try. Johnny May touched down in the final play, but the St. Patrick's Day parties were already well underway. Daly reduced the deficit with his second try, but it was Ireland's day. On St. Patrick's Day, as they claimed the Grand Slam, England's wing Johnny May scores their third try, which was a consolation for Jones's side late on at Twickenham on Saturday.